Hello, you're very welcome to the Under Center Green Zone podcast. I'm the host Dara Marr, joined by two co-hosts. You know who they are, Chris and Dave from the Green Zone podcast. Lads,
Hello.
it's actually been a minute since we've done a show together. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Good. Jeez, when was the last time we did something?
Last time we did something, I think you actually played for a different team.
Oh,
Well, I definitely know that because we haven't done a show since that happened, I don't think.
yeah. Oh, is this because Owen won't do the transfer post on Instagram? You've gave us a show as a transfer post.
Well, if you want to start off right now by saying congratulations to the Vikings, you're more than welcome to. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm putting my foot in on this. No.
It's pending.
It will come. I'm getting better at Canva. I'm getting better.
Yeah. Well, I can see your skills on our Instagram post. Fair play. I like it.
Yeah.
Too bad, like your previous team could have done with that last year, but I think your team now, I think they're all right with the social media side of things. I think they got that down right.
The Jets and their social media. Yeah, they're tagging us and stuff. It's great now.
You know, one thing I noticed, I think this must have been from ages ago, before like you guys played and even before I played, but I think the Jets have the Pirates blocked from tagging them and things on Instagram. Because I run the Pirates thing, and obviously we were doing our scheduled release. Oh, by the way, this is the scheduled release show. Hi everyone. So this is what we're going to do. But obviously we're playing the Jets this year, and I wanted to tag the Jets, and we're not allowed to tag the Jets. They said then the Jets don't allow us to tag. So,
Do you know
the Minotaurs don't let us tag them, but they don't actually have us blocked. So it could be something like that, because I remember giving Joe
I can tag the Jets
over this.
If I wanted to do it on Under Center, I could tag the Jets.
Yeah. The Minotaurs, for some reason, just don't exist on the Green Zone account. Like, they won't even show up.
I was doing the predictions, going through the teams. I was just clicking tags through Instagram, and when I went to the Jets one, I was like, right, I'll go on to the Pirates, and I couldn't see you in the tag. I was like, oh, strange.
That's just Instagram, though. Instagram just plays up all the time for shit like that, the whole time. Sometimes when I try to tag like Greenzone, it's not there.
Yeah, you have to type in the whole handle.
And I get a little worried, because I'm thinking, have they blocked me, and have I done something?
You never know.
We don't believe in blocking. We're a face. Let's get this shit sorted.
Great lineman tag there. We don't believe in blocking.
I should have worn my eat, sleep, block, repeat vest, but maybe for a show later on in the season.
Well, if you didn't already know, the schedule for the 2024 AFI season is out. Every team has released their schedule at 6 p.m. today, which is fantastic. We've seen snippets all week with the home and away schedules and the first game of the season sort of being released by teams. So now we have the full schedule. We're going to go through the Premier Division, then Division 1. We have some predictions to give out. We don't know if they're going to be good or not. We're probably going to get into trouble with a lot of teams, because somehow 2 out of 3 presenters on this show will have the Trojans going 8-0 this year. And then the Pirates will go 8-0 in Division 1 from another mysterious host as well. So
I'd say more than one presenter has the Pirates 8-0.
Yeah. Well, look. I hope you do, because that was the reason why we did this show. It was only because we had to get it publicly out there that the Pirates are going 8-0.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we can't play the Jets every week. Sorry, last one. But
the thing is, you're just having a not even on the podcast anymore. The people out there are watching your show. Our show is
okay. Last one for at least another hour anyway. Like I said, it's been a while. On a new team, part of the Belfast Trojans. How's things been on with the Trojans? Going well?
It's intense. Dave, you'll probably agree with that. It's a lot. Yeah, Trojans don't fuck about like at all. But no, the coaching's phenomenal. Like the level of detail we go into, the expectation on us, but the support that you have to achieve that, it is insane. Um, I can't speak for all Premiership teams, but there is a definite and unreal jump in onus and responsibility as you go up from D1 to somewhere like the Trojans. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, from a purely nerdy football standpoint, it's awesome. The detail they go into plays, the sort of data analytics for the reasons why they do certain things is like, how is this available in a league that is so small? You know, that sort of way. But the professionalism and the advice that you give and the support as well, like every player out there wants every individual to do their best. You know, there's no you're rubbish, you're crap because you didn't do this. It's you didn't do this. Let me show you why you didn't do it and how you can improve it. So it's obviously I play for the Trojans, so I'm going to say all these nice things, but it is true. it is genuinely true. It's because when you first join, you think, oh, it's quite daunting. Can I even play this? But they're constantly on you, like, you know, you can do this. You just have to, as Chris say, it's a bit intense. So you have to do gym, you have to do tape work, you have to do training, and you have to do learning in your own time. But like, it's so rewarding. It's rewarding.
Yeah, we're coming up to our 5th organized team session of some sort this Sunday, and we've only been back a week. So yeah. And also there it really encourages to play when there are some scary fucking dudes on that team, and you're like, if I don't get better, I will die.
Brilliant. Make sure, actually, as well, before we go into the schedules, make sure that you are commenting on either of our YouTube channels to get involved. Let us know what you think about the schedules and what you think your team will finish with this year. Speaking of teams and what they'll finish with, let's get the first schedule up here. And I think because you guys are here, we might as well start with your new team, the Belfast Trojans.
I thought you were going to go the other way.
Excellent. So, interesting start to the season. 3 away games against the
2 really away games.
Yeah.
Against down to Limerick, down to Cork, and then down to Dublin. So you're definitely getting the travel miles done at the start of the season, because obviously your other away game is going to be against the Knights, so that's pretty much just across the city, so that's not going to be too bad. But so your first game as a Belfast Trojan will be away at the Vikings, and they will have an issue with you because you haven't given them their congratulations post.
Yeah, we may present it to them on today.
A hand-drawn picture.
Like, because myself and Dave are quite literally just through the door. Shout out to Sam.
Hello, lineman.
We can't really speak on behalf of the Trojans because we only know what we know so far. But we will try our best. But
there was a whole year of play last year that we can kind of base it off as well.
All right, take the Trojans hat off. Put the Greenzone hat back on here.
No. What I'm saying is I'm keeping the Trojans hat on. Just don't fucking come for me. But yeah, the big thing this year is you have to respect every opponent. I think a lot of times, especially even with the Jets last year, there's a bit of complacency around ourselves, kind of taking these games for granted. And yes, the Vikings are the lowest seed coming into the SBC. They're new blood into here, but they're a known entity at SBC level. As luck would have it, the last time the Trojans played the Vikings, which was actually their opening game, was 2019, and we all know how that season ended. With a nice wee trip to the Shamrock Bowl, so it could be a good omen. But yeah, getting the long distance out first is great. Hopefully, conservatively, I would say 2-1 going into that Panthers game at home, where we hope to, let's see, set the record straight on what happened at the end last year and why we deserved to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you said that, and just because Owen's not here as well, that's even worse, man. That's just digging it in when Owen's not even here.
Yeah. I think like the Vikings' first game of the year is a tricky one to really nail down. Because the Vikings have a big squad and they have a big athletic squad as well. Unfortunately, me and Chris didn't get a chance to play them last year either, or get them a D1 post. Couldn't afford a bus, yeah. So we didn't get a chance to really play against them last year, but they're not going to be an easy. They're not going to be an easy opposition to start the season off, but certainly they should get us up to speed right away. But I think it'd be more of a squeaker game than maybe some people would lead you to believe anyway, for the first start of the game. But I don't know if you want our opinion for the whole season. I feel like we've just gravitated to the first 3 games. That's all you're getting from us.
That's all you get. No, like, come on. So go ahead.
We did work out. So I did the predictions for the under center side of things and how they'll finish. Dave, you did it for Greenzone. So about how they're going to finish. So I'll let you go first on this one. In that schedule, how do you see the Trojans finishing the regular season?
I think a reasonable record is 6-2.
Okay.
And that's Rebels and UCD, or possibly getting a win against UCD and dropping to someone else.
Okay. I had them 5-3.
Fair enough.
Cool.
Now, I don't know. I didn't put
wins with the odds by any chance?
No, I know they definitely. I think, yeah, I might have put down the Vikings as a surprise win week 1.
Oh,
as a surprise because of the travel and everything like that. I think maybe, I think that's what I did. I didn't obviously go into that much depth as Dave. I just made sure that all the win-loss records actually make sense. So that not everyone
this
year, you know. So I don't know who I can't remember who beats who, but I think I said the Vikings might get a surprise. I see. If you guys start 0-3, it's not the end of the world because you'll win the next 5. I think you can easily win the next 5. But 3 long trips to start the season, I think that's what was. I think that came into my thinking about whether or not, or who will be who. Sorry, not making sense here. That's why I think I had you down 0-3 to start. That's where the 3 losses come from.
I think you could see it as an advantage though going to Limerick and Cork the first 2 weeks, because if you're playing them in the last 2 weeks and you're beat up and maybe you're not on a great record already, it can be really more psychological. But first game week, you're bouncing down to Limerick for that 4-hour journey or whatever. You're
going down the Saturday just for the crack.
And if you get a good win there, then you're buzzing all the way down to Cork again, and then if you get 1-1, if you get beat by Cork, then okay. But at least that's all your big travel done for the year. So, it just depends. It's all mental. It's all up in the head, you see.
I mean, you will always back yourselves to win. That's what you do. Anyone who plays this sport that doesn't go into a game backing themselves to win needs to fucking look at themselves. You got to respect what's on your jersey. But yeah, I would say the going undefeated is definitely not an option. I don't think that's. I look at that. I mean, the 3 away games are going to be very, very tough. One thing I am looking forward to, and I think everyone should be looking forward to, is Saturday Night Lights on the 25th of May.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
UCD game at home. Start at 6 in the evening, which is just going to be unreal.
That's going to be a class day. For sure.
All our home games are on a Saturday. What did they do?
Yeah. I think they were here last year as well.
No, they were definitely Sundays last year. There was the Cork game wasn't Saturday.
Yeah.
Was that the only one? I thought there was at least 2 last year. That was Saturday.
Unless there was an away game that was Saturday, but all the ones at Darramore were.
Was the Rebels
Sunday,
game
Friday.
not a Saturday game when you played them at home? Was that not a Saturday game? I thought that was.
I missed it because I had COVID. So, Chris, you were at it.
I was definitely there. I think it might just be PTSD, and I've just stripped that from my memory.
I can't remember. I can't remember either. Now you're making me doubt that was a Saturday.
No,
I don't know
you
why
were
it wasn't.
You were
No, I had
no,
COVID
that was the
for
Cowboys.
the Rebels
game.
one. I was at the Cowboys, the Admirals, and I think it was that another one. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. All the games I think this year on a Saturday.
You were ball boy at the Panthers.
Ball boy at the Panthers. But then was that a Saturday? It wasn't.
No.
That was a Sunday.
No, that was a Sunday. That was a Sunday.
Yeah. Yes. It was a Sunday.
All right. Well, so 5-3, 6-2. We both think similarly, though, in that way that we're expecting a good year for the Trojans. To hopefully then cement possibly 3rd place and get into that playoff. In my eyes, that's where I have them. I just gave it away. Sorry, but
it's a toss up between 2nd and 3rd, I reckon, this year.
Is it? All right, fair enough. I'd interesting to find out who you have coming 3rd behind them. But we'll kind of get to it. We'll get into it in a second. Let's move on to. I guess you have to move on to the champs. Start with the champs. 8-0 in the regular season last year. That is, of course, the Dublin Rebels. And if everything works for me here, that'd be great. There we go.
Hey.
So Dublin Rebels start off the same as last year. They're facing off UCD. This time away from home. Was it away from home last time as well? It was actually.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
it was. Yeah. So a repeat of the Shamrock Bowl as well. Obviously the biggest rivalry in this country when it comes to American football. Then away to the newly promoted Vikings, then 3 home games in a row, including the Trojans, the Knights, and the Admirals. Panthers away in the Dublin Derby as well. UCD at home, and finishing off with the Westmeath Minotaurs away. I have this record 7-1. I think the Rebels are going to trade wins and losses with UCD, and the rest I think they'll win. But Dave, Chris, what are you thinking about the Rebels?
I had them, I don't think anything from my knowledge has really changed with them. UCD have obviously lost a big piece in Sean.
A big slice.
A big slice. And I know there's another slice. But I don't know. It's just one of them things where I think someone has to go down injured for the Rebels for them to start dropping games. But UCD twice in the regular season will be challenging. That first week, you just never know what's going to pop up. Even the first couple of weeks, you don't know what's going to happen. But I don't think there's anything stopping them again this year, to be honest with you.
Not too dashing rookie O-lineman, no?
Well, if we could get a win, that would be obviously we'd be going for a win. I'm basing this more off last year and pre-season, and
everything we know now is all rumor and conjecture. Take everything we say tonight with a pinch of salt, as more shite will come out of my mouth at the very least.
I'm just trying to be unbiased and trying to be honest. I didn't see any big thing happen to the Rebels for them not to go undefeated again. Is my thing. And if they beat UCD in the first game, they'll beat them in the second. I think is what I'm going for. Even though I think when I did the predictions, I did UCD. No, I did do that right. Yeah, no. I think the Rebels go 8-0 again. But who knows in the playoffs what'll
happen? Well, look, listen, 8-0, 7-1. I still have them to finish first in the division anyway. So I think not even for the league's sake, but just to make things a little interesting, just to put a spanner in the works for if UCD can win that first game of the season. And then maybe possibly cast a little bit of doubt in the minds. Look, you never know when it comes to this when it comes to you've won last year. Can you repeat it? You always hear when it comes to sport, it's always hard to repeat after winning the year before. UCD came very close to doing that. We'll see if the Rebels can do that again this year. But look, listen,
Like,
it's all to play for.
sorry, just on that. I mean, I think the Rebels, their big challenge this year is going to be more of a mental challenge. You know, as you said, they were 8-0 last year. They have the physicality, they have the players, they have the coaches. So I think it's more about keeping the players engaged. I know they're looking at playing competitions out in Europe. They're playing an American team this season as well. You know, I think providing they can keep their eye on the ball over here and not get distracted by everything else that they have going on, they should be able to replicate that. But as I said, they have a lot of stuff, a lot of really cool, a lot of really interesting stuff. And at an amateur sport level, can these guys maintain focus?
Well, the other thing I was going to say as well is that they handed out some real pastons to these teams last year, putting up 60 points and 50 odd points against nearly everybody last year.
Yeah.
There's going to be some chips on the shoulder. Some boys are like, I want to face the Rebels and I want to be competitive. I think a lot of clubs in the league as well is saying like this is the standard and we all need to raise it. It's whether if Dublin have they raised it or stay the same, or you know if they've stayed the same, have all the other teams gone higher? So you might see maybe a defeat or possibly 2 defeats leak in that way. But based on what we know, that's why I went 8-0. Nice little rhyme. Anytime.
Oh, doubling down.
Right, we'll move off then from the Rebels and we will move on to the defeated finalists in last year's Shamrock Bowl. That is UCD. Let's see if this is going to work for me here. There we go. Things are starting to work now. I love this. UCD, 3 home games, Rebels, Admirals, Vikings to kick off the season. Then trips up to Belfast for consecutive games to the Knights and the Trojans. Finish off their home schedule to the Minotaurs. And then 2 Dublin derbies to finish off the season against the Rebels and the Panthers. Lads, I'll let you go first on this one. UCD schedule. You mentioned the loss of running back Sean McVeigh, who's gone over to Zurich. Yep. I think he's watching. So hello, Sean, if you're watching. Hopefully he's tucking into a slice of Zurich Domino's, if he can find one or not. But I doubt it. Lads, UCD, what are we thinking about them this year?
It'll be interesting. I mean, yes, Sean McVeigh is one man, but he was the one man. You know, he was like, what was it, like over 1,000 yards over the course of the season, top scorer in the league, league offensive MVP. You know, just an absolutely fucking insane athlete that you can put a lot of reliance on. You know, in the Rebels, they have Ty Henry. Yes, Ty's just one player on a field with 11 there. But again, you know, these are key components. But at the same time, they know how to play. They're not going to fuck about. I can see them falling to the Rebels at the start there. I would say they would actually fall to the Rebels twice. I'm going to put them down at 5-3.
Okay.
Jesus. Okay. I have, well, actually, I say that like I'm so shocked. Like, I have them at 6-2. It's not that. Like, it's not that. But, like, when there's only 8 games, one game does make a match. Like, 5-3 sounds so much worse than 6-2.
It does.
My head. By logic, I have them at 6-2 because I have the Rebels at 8-0. But, like, yes, you know, we'll say it again and we'll say it a million times. Sean won't be there. But they still have ballers. Aaron Mooney's still at QB, I believe. I'm going to name drop someone and like, no, he went to Strasbourg or some random place. I don't know. But again, you know, it's a place that could bring up any athlete at any time. And you go.
And you've also got the Kuzmeriks coming down as well. They've transferred from the Hogs. They did a great job up there at New Forge. Now they're down with UCD.
Although one of the lads is injured now, isn't he?
one of the Kuzmarikses.
Yeah, I think knee injury. I think it was
Louis?
was it Louis? Might have been.
Lewis.
Might have
I
been.
never know
There's
if
one-
it's Lewis.
Yeah, because Alex put up a post today about looking forward to playing with such and such. And I haven't seen anything from Lewis, so I would imagine maybe Lewis then.
Must be sick at seeing the color blue.
Yeah.
And different shades of blue.
But yeah, now that we've covered the three teams, now doing this completely unbiased, if I wasn't playing at Darramore this year, like I would be saying this anyway. I can see the 25th of May deciding second and third place in the league. So I can.
Okay.
I think that's a fair enough
Yeah.
shout. Some people won't. There's I think there's people.
Yeah, no.
that
Obviously, I pissed
that
off
might
7
not.
other people. But
Yeah.
like that is the game. I think, it has got to the point. The Rebels are sitting up there on a pedestal, so it is up to ourselves, UCD, and the Admirals to duke it out. But I think the Admirals aren't going to have as much gas as UCD and Trojans will this year.
Okay, fair enough. I have
Respectfully.
UCD. I have UCD at 6-2 this year as well. Now I know I said the Rebels are going to beat them once. I can't remember who their other defeat is. I might have said that Trojans game might have been. I might have said they might have lost that Trojans game. But I know you have it down as a important game, Chris. Obviously if they're finishing 6-2, I don't have it as pivotal a loss if they do lose, because Trojans will lose other games. I said they're starting 0-3, so
That's right. We're
waving.
climbing.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so 6-2, second place. I think I know Sean's a big loss, but there's so many players in UCD. They get so many new players in at the start of each year as well, with obviously new people coming into the college and stuff. And I think 6-2, second place for them, into the playoffs, a home semi-final in the playoffs, and then we'll see who they come up against then in that. But
before we move off from them. I seen actually Sean in our group chat says, I hate chat about travel. Is it because UCD don't really have to travel that far? They have 2 away games in Dublin and 2 away games in Belfast. You can't really get any better than that, to be honest. Is that why he's like, no, I don't like to chat about travel. You guys have no traveling at all.
That is pretty ideal, to be fair. Just going up to
I've just seen that the group chat's popping off. Jesus fuck.
Is it?
I haven't checked in a while. I'm just scrolling here. Right.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we'll move off. Anything else on UCD before we move off?
Apparently they're getting a new kit. They're getting a new kit this year. An alternate kit.
Oh,
it's fucking blue.
Yeah.
Now we can move on. Oh fuck.
Okay, we'll move on then. Okay, I've seen a lot of messages in our Instagram, and a lot of people want us to talk about this team next. So we are going to. It is the newly promoted UL Vikings. Let's have a chat about UL, eh? 3 home games. Nice 3 home game start. Against the Admirals, the Trojans, and the Rebels.
Did you just say nice? Like
nice.
Nice. I don't know who the fuck Liam Ryan.
They were playing the top 4 teams.
Yes,
the first 4
who
games.
the fuck did Liam Ryan piss off over the league? That they went, you know what? Here's the Admirals, here's the Trojans, here's the Rebels, here's UCD. On you go, son. You want to play SBC? That's how you play SBC, all right?
Listen, if you want to know if you're up to the standard, this is how you know.
I know, but like...
Yeah, in a way, it sets the standard for the second half of the year.
It
like
does.
This is the level you have to play to compete.
Mm-hmm.
So it might work in their favor. It's just the 3 home games being those teams.
I know.
Is difficult.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Those last 2 games against the Knights are huge as well.
Yeah.
Actually, even probably the Minotaurs game is huge. So those three especially. Just the way my predictions work out, that they're all going to finish in around the same spot. Those are the games that you really are going to have to try and get at least 2 out of 3 wins in those, just to make sure. Now, I think is there definitely a shield in Premier. So the bottom 4 will play in the shield, and then I'm guessing the 2 teams that lost in the first playoff round will play each other, and then that team who loses is relegated.
No, it's bottom 4 or bottom.
Yeah.
But see if you get through to the playoffs, like the proper big boy playoffs. And you lose your semi-final, you're not in the shield.
No, I mean the bottom 4 teams. Yeah, the bottom 4
3 teams. It's 3
teams. It's
5, 6, and 7. 8 gets relegated, and then 5, 6, and 7 go in the shield.
Right. So 5 gets a bye, and then 6 and 7 plays each other.
Yeah.
And then 8 is just automatically relegated. See, that's where I was going to. That's what I was trying to get at, because I didn't know if it was a 4-team shield, because you could realistically finish 5th, lose both your playoff games, and then you're suddenly relegated, which you wouldn't deserve to be. That's okay. So that's fine. I just needed to know that. Now kind of makes a mockery of my prediction table as well, because I just said they're gonna if they're gonna finish in a plate position, or a shield position, so it doesn't matter whether they finish between 5th and 8th, so it doesn't matter. But now it actually does matter. So shit. Anyway, Vikings. Lads, I'm sorry I'm going to pitch this off, but I have you going 3-5 this year.
Same.
No.
Yeah.
4-4.
4-4.
4-4.
Okay. So are you thinking start 0-4 and finish 4-0? And yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I think they've a history of beating the Minotaurs. They've a history of getting surprised by the Minotaurs, let's say. So they have. But yeah, I mean, they know the Minotaurs. They know how to beat them. Panthers. I'm unsure about the Panthers this season. So I am. Again, we're in January, so like let's just take that for what it is. We have no idea what the fuck's going on here, what's going on by March comes around. But yeah, I would say take your 0-4 at the start, go 4-0 to finish.
Okay.
I think they will be, though. Maybe not necessarily the surprise package of the league, just purely because they've come up. But I do think they're going to give every team they play against a problem.
Yeah.
I think is my contention with them. They'll be competitive in all their games.
Mm-hmm. I think that's that run at the start of 4 games. I have them winning one of those games. I don't think they'll start 0-4. Now whether that's the Admirals game or the Trojans or the Rebels or the UC, I can't remember which one exactly.
You said the Trojans. You said they were going to beat us.
Did I say this?
Oh yeah, that's right.
You did. Yeah, I said the Trojans. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Thank you. Then they could win that Trojans game, but I think they won't start 0-4. Maybe 1-3, and then they might lose either the Panthers game or one of those Knights games.
I could see the odds game be a coin flip.
It could be. Munster Derby.
You see, the thing as well, though, they play the Ads on the 3rd and then the Trojans on the 10th a week later.
Yeah, it's going to be tough on them.
Could be difficult in that way. But if they get one of those 4, they definitely are in with a chance to go 5-3, in my opinion, if they get one of 4.
Okay. Okay, so we're all positive on the Vikings. That's cool. I like that, because Vikings are a good bunch, and I think that they actually have a chance. They have a good squad. And will you do a Vikings safe from relegation post if they do that then as a we're sorry for?
Sure, yeah, sure. We promised a multitude of fucking graphics.
Might as well just make another promise while you're at it. Yeah.
I will hand draw a graphic.
You're safe, lads. Way. Okay, let's let me have a look. See, yeah, let's go back up to Dublin. Let's talk about the Panthers then and their schedule. You did mention that you have a little bit of concern about the Panthers this year. Not the worst start though, especially those first 3 games against the Minotaurs, the Knights, and the Vikings. But as the season goes on, you can see it gets progressively tougher, including like that trip up to Belfast for. I'm guessing that's probably one of the most eagerly anticipated rematches of the season against the Trojans for sure.
Yep.
Rebels and UCD to play in 2 of the last 3 games as well.
Yeah, their back 3 games is shocking.
Yeah.
They got off so light at the start of the season, getting Minotaurs, Knights, and Vikings to start the season, and then an absolutely horrendous end of season. And as we all know from playing, the last matches of your season really all depend on staying healthy on the first half.
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, just brutal those last. You could even say the Minotaurs game could be tough, especially if they don't hit the ground running at the start. Also, which is so handy this season as well. They're playing all their home games up in the sports campus in Blanche, so easy viewing for me. So I get to go down easily. But yeah, what you been finishing at?
Dave, do you want to go first?
See, no, I think I don't think I said it live. I think I said it just before we went live that there's 3 teams in this division that I really struggled to get a record for because they're good teams. It's the Panthers, the Vikings, and the Minotaurs. I have them like sort of down at like 3 and 5 or 2 and 6. But they could be so easily be 4 and 4 or 5 and 3. Like the South Dublin Panthers are awesome. Like we see it, well, me and Chris seen it firsthand. They are such a good, well-organized unit. But I have the Vikings beating them, which sort of means, and I think the Minotaurs will get at least one of their games. So I kind of have them down as 2 and 6, and I don't like it because they're not a 2 and 6 team. And Owen Connolly is going to rip my neck off if he could.
Oh, he'd be ripping.
And like I swear to God, it's not me trying to be. It's just because they're so close, and it just tips. It's mainly down to numbers, and I'm not sure how much they've improved their numbers. But the Vikings have a big squad and a big physical squad, so they're going to need to grind out results, and they could so easily beat maybe the Admirals or the Minotaurs twice, and then it's 4 and 4. But just based off kind of gut feel, there's only 2 games there where I go, yeah, I'm comfortable. You'll win those 2 games. So that's why I went 2 and 6.
I mean, when it clicks, and it did click a couple of times last season, but when it clicks, like the Panthers' offense is one of the best offenses in the country. Yeah. No questions asked. But it needs to click. I think consistency is a big issue, which is why I have concerns with the Panthers. I think a lot of teams have stepped up. A lot of teams have stepped up their preseason, their off-season work. And they probably have as well, but I think you can be as good as you want, but if you're not consistent with it, you're going to really, really struggle in the Premiership this season. And Division 1 for that matter, but we're talking about Premiership.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Do we know if Finn still going to be playing quarterback this year?
I don't know, but he's been posting a lot of book reviews recently. Shout out to Finn Kearns. Owen's your number 1 fan.
I don't know if Finn playing QB again this year is going to help them or be a hindrance. Because he's an unreal wide receiver, and I feel like he should be playing that. But if they don't have a QB there ready to go, having Finn there is fine too. They had a lot of young kids last year as well playing for them, like just coming out of the youth squad. So having a year of senior kitted football under their belt is going to be huge. Like shout out to one of the guys on the show here, Robert Marr, is their center. He's playing for the Wolf. Where are they? The Wolf Puppies. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, Wolf Pups.
Wolf Pups.
Yeah.
So he's playing for them. So yeah, I have them down as 4-4 this year. Just with that schedule, I think it's tough. Is it enough to make the playoffs? We'll find out when we go through the other teams. But
who do you have them winning? Out of curiosity.
Why? I told you I didn't put that much effort into it.
Let's not upset anyone for
this is what I mean. Like, if I was just looking at the team name, I would probably go Panthers 4-4. But when I look at the schedule, I think the Minotaurs, because I don't think the Minotaurs are like a 1-7 team, for example. So I think the Minotaurs must pick up a win somewhere. And this is the game I sort of picked out. So that's why, if I literally done it from name, it probably would have been 4-4. I would have went for as well, but it's a tough schedule.
I think I definitely had them losing to the Rebels and UCD.
Yeah.
And the Trojans, I think I had them losing to as well, because I think the Trojans are just going to go all out, especially to win that game.
For first home game as well for the Trojans.
And then maybe I think Minotaurs take one of the games. So I do have them beating the Vikings, but that could be a toss. That can be a toss up.
Yeah.
So that means they could go 3-5, or they could stay 4-4.
Yeah.
So that's how I worked it out, I think. I'm going to say this because it makes the most sense anyway to me right now. So I'm going to say that's how it does. But anyway, I'm going to have to start motoring through a few teams here. Already 40 minutes in. Jesus. Let's have
it. We just enjoy it. We don't care if anyone watches.
Well, like this is the division with the least amount of teams. We still have to go through Division 1.
But the Premiership's the hardest division of all.
People return to this episode and cut their records. Me saying the Panthers going 2-6, and they'll put Kanye West in the background
when they go 3-6 or 3-5.
I would love that. That's top quality content, to be honest.
Yeah.
Also,
I actually would be disappointed if teams didn't clip this stuff up to play now when they prove us wrong in the middle of the season, for sure.
Oh, I really do love, like, see when somebody sends me to me, like in some sort of like you were wrong situation, it cracks me up. I think it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
We don't get the you were right statements, but plenty of you were wrong.
Yeah.
Only the you were wrong if they did better than we thought we were going to do. If they did worse, we won't hear a thing.
Yeah, the only time I was told I was right was when I predicted that the Panthers would beat the Knights. It was the only time anyone's ever went out of their way to be like, Chris knows.
The ads against UCD last year must have been the only person outside of Cork that picked them.
Yeah, and no one said fuck all.
Exactly. Bullshit.
Speaking of Cork, let's have a look at their schedule. Vikings, UCD, Trojans, Minotaurs, Rebels, Knights, Panthers, and then Trojans again. You know, as we always hear rumors as the off season progresses about, teams aren't doing well, this team isn't doing well, that team's not doing well. You never really hear much from Cork. They definitely keep to themselves a lot. Them and the Eagles especially keep to themselves a lot. Sorry, Chris, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, no, I was just building on it. There is some rumors coming out of Cork about injuries.
Yeah. There is actually a few. So if you want to say them, you can. I don't mind. Because you're actually kind of more in the know. You're kind of more turning, instead of a media figure in the league, you're turning into like a Rappaport of the league. You're you know all the injuries. You know, like, did you hear this person left? And
I'm like, at the end of the season, I'm just gonna look into the camera and be like, I am Gossip Shop.
You
like
were AFI rumor mill, was that?
Oh, is that one? Yeah, whichever one. There was Gossip Shop and rumor mill. There is some questions over quarterback fitness coming out of Cork. But again, it's January. Again, it's rumors. We can only do with what we have. So please don't come at me if I'm incorrect. Apparently, AO has retired or is not playing anymore. But again, it's January. These are rumors.
Well, you can confirm with Ao that he did have an operation because he has been putting it on his Instagram.
Yeah.
So he definitely had an operation on his knee.
But it's still January.
It's still January, but like it's still a knee.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
You know. But listen, I lent into the injury news. That's what I'm thinking for Cork, and might be a bit of a down year this year for Cork. I have them going 3-5. What do you think?
I think this is the first time I've had a team do better than what you have done, but only by a game. I said 4-4 because I think everyone was shocked when they went 7-1 last year. I think even themselves were a bit shocked they went 7-1, and I think there was times people were like, "Oh, like are the Admirals going to go and win it all?" And then got hammered by the Rebels, and I was like, "Oh, okay." But yeah, it's just a team though. It doesn't matter how many numbers, so long as it's enough to field the team. The coaching and the experience down there gets them through a lot of sticky situations. So I think 4-4 just keeps them in there, and they sort of beat the young heads in the team in the league.
Yeah, I mean, just on the coach. I mean, you've got what do you call him, Brenton Kelleher, and Lamansley, Lamasney. I always get his name wrong. And they've like taken players who really had who wouldn't have been Wolfhound standard, and now enjoying very, very fantastic playing times on the Wolfhound squad. They're absolutely fantastic coaches. So even if the big hitters aren't there, they're still a team with development. So I would say, if we're leaning into the injury news and whatever else is going on down there, Admirals are going to be a second half of the season team once you get some of that new blood up to the standard that those two coaches can do.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. And look, the schedule sort of allows for that sort of second half of the season, especially with winnable games again at home to the Minotaurs and the Knights and Panthers as well. And look, maybe they can cause a shock in either the Trojans or the Rebels game. Who knows? Although the Rebels did dispatch them pretty handily last year, so we'll wait and see. I think they did it once. Just they played each other once. That's it. That game though, at the end of the year, if Cork do run up a bit of a head of steam, that game at the end of the year against yourselves up in Belfast could be quite tasty if it means that there's potential playoff places on the line.
I would imagine and hope that game on the 29th of June would be the Admirals playing for a spot in the playoffs versus the Trojans playing to hold home field advantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd agree.
Hope.
It'll be interesting as well because it's on the Saturday, and we go back. I think UCD then played the day after, so UCD could be hoping for a favour from Cork going into that game on a Saturday before they play on the Sunday to see if they can get, like you said, that home field advantage. So it could end up being a very nice situation there, especially for us neutrals looking in from the outside.
Yes, us neutrals.
Us neutrals, yes. I when I say us, I mean the collective us, not just us here in the studio, because
Yes.
I know you like to remain unbiased, considering you aren't wearing any Trojans gear as we're on live right now. Yeah. Anyway,
Dave sent me a video earlier. Just sorry to say, Dave sent me a video earlier. And he was like, we're clearly getting like the podcast area set up, and he had his like Jets hoodie, and he just like had a video, and it was just like him holding the Jets hoodie, and then it cut to him wearing the Trojans t-shirt, just being like, do I do it?
I didn't do it. I'm remaining professional. Thanks. No, I'm unprofessional.
Man,
thanks for ruining it.
It was so good. It was so good.
Right. Let's move to Westmeath and talk about the Minotaurs for a few minutes. After staying up last year, obviously after getting promoted the season before, they have an interesting schedule here now as well. Home games against the Knights, the Panthers, the Vikings, and the Rebels, and then away games against the Panthers, Admirals, UCD, and of course your Trojans. I made a mistake there. I have 2 games on the 9th of June. I did not mean that, so I apologize for them. Double header, yeah. The squad is that big that they have 2 games on at the same time.
Yeah.
So I apologize for that. But guys, because I have other teams doing so well in their record, like the Rebels, UCD, Trojans, Panthers even going 4-4, and the Vikings going 3-5. Teams had to lose, and unfortunately, these next 2 teams that we're talking about, Minotaurs and Knights, I have them losing. The Minotaurs, it worked out that I have them down as a 2-6 record this year. What are you guys thinking?
The exact same.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah,
2-6. It's one of those things, like you say, someone has to lose. We can't all say everyone's going to go 4-4 or something like that, But I think I said before when we were on the Panthers, I think Westmeath beat the Panthers once, and they beat the Knights, and I think that's where they get their thing. But they play entertaining football, like we saw last year. They have some real weapons on offense. Yeah. So who knows, on a bad day, teams can get caught out by that, But I went 2-6 as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one for them this year. And it's not because when you say with tough one and with other teams, it's maybe because there's player issues or, there's other issues going on. But with the Minotaurs, there's no issues there. I just think that the top half of the league is so stacked this year, and especially that they have all the top 4 teams, and then they have to play home and away to the Panthers as well, which I think the Panthers do have a chance to do well this year. That it's just the schedule gods just weren't too happy with them and didn't give them a lot of favors this year. It seems to be the sole reason for me why I don't have them at a much better record.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I mean, I suppose it's the Minotaurs shocked everyone last year they were competitive to a degree. I think a lot of people kind of saw them just kind of flittering around the bottom. But when you've got UL coming up and haven't seen UL play, haven't seen their squad size, knowing some of the coaches and how they get on, I would be concerned if I was in Westmeath. I would be concerned.
Well, they do have some knowledge of UL because they did beat them.
No. I mean the overall standard of the division.
Yeah, I know what you mean. All right. We'll go on to the last Premier Division side. That is the Knights. Everything's been working great. Don't fail me now. Here we go. The Knights, I'm going to say straight out, have the most satisfying schedule of the whole AFI. It's home away, home away, home away.
Gotta like it.
The whole season. It's so satisfying, not just for preparing graphics, just seeing it and knowing that, okay, we played at home last, okay, we're away next. So it's great. I have them also going 2-6 this year. What were they? 2-6 last year as well. I think didn't they beat they beat the Cowboys, especially towards the end of the year, to confirm safety in the league. Like that. The top of the division is so stacked. I like that. I haven't heard much about the Knights this year. I don't know if they have gotten stronger, if they've gotten weaker. They have a strong youth side. I don't know if any of them are eligible to be promoted to senior kid football just yet. But what are you thinking about the Knights?
I don't know where I've heard rumors or murmurs that they have improved their team. And I honestly don't know who it was that would have told me or where I would have heard that, but somewhere in the back of my head, someone said to me that they have improved and they've got some new players in. But like, I'll be honest, as hateful as it is, like I have them going defeated 0-8.
Fuck.
It's horrible. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's shit. But like the way it works, the way I have it down, that's the way the cookie crumbles. It really does depend what way the Vikings decide they're going to play this year. I think if they can get those 2 wins at the end with the Vikings, awesome. But like we said, they got 2 wins last year against the Cowboys, and they were fairly defeated last year. The Cowboys. But I'm not saying the Knights are going to get hammered every week they go out. That they will be competitive. They're a tough sledding team, and they always have been. Always will be tough, physical. So you never know. They could grind out a result against any of these teams. But I don't know. Just looking at it, I don't see where the win is going to come from.
Yeah, I mean, adding on that as well, they've a change of personnel at play caller, I'm led to believe. So there is. Plus, I mean, so it's a team in rebuild after 2 narrowly avoided relegations back to back. I would say because they've some players coming up from youth, some players coming in at QB. You've got returning injured players like Marty Caskey, for instance. I think I saw on Instagram he's coming back. If and only if that starts to click around week 2, I could see them taking a fight to Limerick. But as it stands, I would agree with Dave. And I hate saying that because their D-line is filthy fucking violent. We're going to have to face them. But with the information I have, I just can't look past that.
But at the same time, if you do better, I implore you to cut what we've said and send to us at the end of the year. I'll be delighted for you if you do 3-5.
They'll tell us in person.
Buzzing for you. It's just based on what we know. Your 2 wins came from a team that got relegated. You know.
I wonder though if you'll still be delighted if they beat you to stay up.
Don't be fucking.
I mean, if we've got a solid place, then maybe we won't be too disappointed.
Dave.
Well, I'm not saying I'm going to give them a win. I'm just saying.
Oh,
if
you're
it
on
costs
laps
something,
tomorrow.
I'll be pissed off.
Right, that is Premier Division wrapped up. Just for argument's sake, just we go quickly through it. I had the Rebels finishing first 7-1, UCD finishing second 6-2, Trojans 5-3, Panthers 4-4, Cork 3-5, UL 3-5, and then I guess I'm gonna have to pick a relegation. Because I have both the Minotaurs and the Knights finishing 2-6, but now with the Shield rules that I did not know before making out these predictions.
You were at the AGM.
No, I was not.
Oh, we're not. Oh, never mind.
No. I was not, excuse you. I wasn't sitting through that. Just to change it up, because you said the Knights, I'll go Minotaurs to finishing bomb. And getting relegated. I have them both finishing 2-6, which would be a very cruel way for them to be relegated. But
I agree. That's the battle. That is the battle.
Yeah, I think so. And then, do you want to quickly predict then if that's the way it goes? Who do you think wins the Shamrock Bowl? Who wins the? Do we have a name for the Shield, or is it just the Shield?
Premiership Shield.
Shamrock Shield.
Premiership Shield.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shamrock Shield is a good alliteration.
Yeah.
Double letter alliteration. Shamrock Shield.
It's
so you want the league to say they've won the SS, yes?
Yes.
Yeah. That's exactly why it's not called the Shamrock Shield.
Yeah.
Someone has thought of that.
Yeah. Some team is a member of the SS winning club. Anyway, I'm
not even fucking February. We're already at
it. Hey, not league affiliated. Say what we want. Yeah. I'm gonna say I'm gonna throw it in there and say UL are gonna win the Shield. Because if it's Cork, UL, and Knights, yeah, UL to win the Shield, and then until I see one of the other teams really step up, I am going to say Rebels for the Shamrock Ball again this year.
Yep. For the Shield, I would say it'll be a Panthers Vikings final, Shield final. I think is fair. Ask me again in week 4, week 5, what way that's gonna go. And then for the bowl, to quote my new head coach from last season, if not us, then the Rebels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, sorry, Dave. I didn't give you a chance.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Sit on. Yeah. That's okay. No, you're fine.
Sorry.
I'm just
No.
pissing everyone else off and stuff. So you're just like, no, you can't piss any more people off. For the Shield, I'm trying to think because I didn't do like rankings. Because I was so harsh on their overall record, I'll say the Panthers win the Shield. I think they're good enough for that. And for the bowl, I hope it Trojans Rebels final. I'll put that out there. But I think until I see more, it would probably be the Rebels is who I would side with to win it.
Yeah. All right then. Perfect. Let's move on to Division 1. Obviously an extended division this year. No Division 2. So 10-team division. 10-team division. With
this is a lot less awkward.
Yeah. Eagles, the Giants, and my Pirates going up. So it'll be what? Top 4 go into the playoffs for promotion. The next 4 go into a Shield, and then the final 2, their season's just done.
Oh, is it a 4-4 for them?
Hang on.
It's a 4-4.
Yeah.
I suppose there's enough teams and not have to worry about a bye week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 4-4.
All right, let's start then with last year's finalist who lost to the UL Vikings. That, of course, is the Loud Mavericks. Here they are here, and there is their lovely schedule.
The
starting
boys.
off, the team of Greenzone.
Yes.
The team of Greenzone for sure. You still have that T-shirt, yeah?
Yeah.
Dave is not happy with
bye, Dave.
The team. Yeah, he's not involved anymore.
Oh right. Oh yeah. I see what he's doing.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Bias
all the way.
If you weren't running laps of training tomorrow, you definitely are now after seeing that.
It's a different division. Who cares?
I'm allowed to have a second team, damn it. Right, so starting off away to the Division 2 winners, Eagles, and the relegated from Premier Division Cowboys. Home games against the Jets, and again playing the Cowboys again, and then the Vipers, away to the Crusaders and the Razorbacks, and then finishing on Saturday the 29th at home to the Rhinos. This is a tough division for me in terms of there's 3 teams in this division I have gone 6-2, and Loud are one of those teams. I think they are going to go 6-2 this year. Chris doesn't agree with me. Chris is their biggest fan. He doesn't even agree with me. Chris, why don't you agree with me?
Because it doesn't matter where they're playing home or away. The Mavs are going 8-0 this season. I'm saying it now. They're going 8-0.
Okay. Because I was actually thought there was going to be something controversial there, but
that's controversial.
Yeah. No, I just thought he was going to say no. They're going 4-4 or something.
8-0 all the way. I mean, look at that. They beat, with the exception of the Cowboys, they beat every single team there handsomely last season.
And the Eagles.
Yeah, well, you would presume. Yeah, but no, the Mavs are.
Did they beat the Rhinos handsomely? believe they needed a little bit
All
of extra
12 of them.
help.
All 12 of them.
All
beat
12
them,
of them,
yeah. No, Mavs are going 8-0. They'll lose in the
Okay.
bowl. I'm saying now they'll lose in the bowl because Mavs finish second. Mavs finish second, but they will go 8-0.
They're like a true gentleman. They always finish second.
Exactly.
Dave.
I went 7-1. I think it's going to be between them and the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys get one, and the Mavs get the other in their fixtures, and then they win the rest. Was my prediction for them. So 7-1 overall.
Fair enough. So 6-2 for me. For them. Okay, that's fair enough. Let's move on then let's talk about the Cowboys then. They are going through a bit of a rebuild at the moment.
Victims of the sexy bowl.
Yes, they were, but they actually took it to heart because I believe there's new jerseys afoot, so they definitely listened to you.
I believe another
sure.
team did that as well that may play in orange.
that's in the works. All I can say is that's in the works. I don't know if anything has actually happened concrete with it. I'd like that, but we'll have to wait and see. So there's a new shade of orange in Craigavon. So we haven't actually gotten the new jerseys yet. Although we need to see them. What were we saying? February, March, we were told.
Yeah, we get a reveal around them.
Yeah, around there. That's okay. Lads, what are we thinking about the Cowboys? I have them as my second of 3 6-2 teams. But what about you?
I think I have them at 7-1. When we started podcasting last year, on another podcast, I think we kind of had them low down because we couldn't see what they were doing in the off season. They were very quiet on the socials and things like that, and then they went into the Premier Division and they finished with no wins. I think this year there seems to be a breath of fresh air. They're like, right, we're in Division 1. Let's try to get back up. We have new colors. We have new kits. We look more sleek. So I think they're really going to hit the ground running and go 7-1 and match my prediction for the Mavs anyway.
Was there not like a full and complete overhaul of everything in Craigavon? The only thing that stayed, I think, is the name. You know, we've got new presidents, not new coaches, but it is new coaches. I'm right in saying the Lochrans aren't there anymore. Are they there? I believe they were leaving if they got relegated.
I think they're still there.
So somebody ring Scott and ask him what's going on. Were
they allowed come back after proclaiming that they would relegate?
Oh God! Jason in the comments, thank you, Jason. Yeah, the Lochrans are there. So okay, maybe I'm mistaken. A bit more status quo then. 6-2, 5-3.
That's okay. That's not bad.
7-1.
It's so boring so far. It's so positive.
Yeah. Well, that's because Darren's starting out with the fucking top.
There's plenty more to come.
There's plenty of negativity to come. Don't worry about that, Dave. You'll get your time. Don't worry about that. Okay, 6-2 for me. 7-1. You're thinking maybe 5-3, 6-2 as well, Chris. So a successful season anyway for Craigavon on the way for sure.
Oh, winning season,
yeah. All right, perfect. Move on then to who will we talk about next? Let's have a chat about Kildare. The Crusaders starting at home against the Pirates, and then including trips away to the Razorback, the Rhinos at home to the Eagles, the Cowboys away, Mavericks, Giants, and then Vipers at home to finish up. Bengals colours. Oh, is that a tease for the new?
I would love some Bengali helmets. Oh,
Bengal
amazing.
colours. I'm
Makes
all
no
about.
sense.
Yeah.
Under Green Center Zone exclusive.
Yeah, there we go. I thought you're like a Rappaport. Why didn't you find this out beforehand?
You're in the same group chat.
Well, hang on.
This conversation.
It's black and orange.
Listen, you have chats.
No. You're in the fantasy group chat with every other fucker when we were told about this.
Look, I don't pay attention to that enough, right? I'm leaving for an hour and then I'm 100 messages behind. I'm not reading back on all that.
It's so busy. It's so
Yeah, but
busy.
it's
If
not
I get a
rocket science.
tag, then I'll look for that tag and see why they mentioned me. But I'm not going through the whole thing.
But they're black and
It could have been-
orange, so they're Bengals colors. That was
Yeah.
always known.
It's
It's not exclusive. It's there. This black and
But,
orange.
But that's what they're saying the Cowboys ones will be, which I'm all for. So they're getting rid of the white and the navy.
Yeah, because
So-
that's the new color scheme. They shoot
Yeah.
that in the crest.
Yeah, I had to change the crest as well. Full rebrand.
Yeah. Okay. You guys pay way
We're
more
cutting
attention
into
to this than we do.
Kildare's time
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, Kildare. They didn't launch new kit. They launched a new fan merch, didn't they? Like a month or so ago.
Yeah.
Either way, it looked unreal. I didn't order any because it was Christmas, but it looked unreal. shout out to Kildare and their tasty
Yeah.
drip.
I have Kildare. I actually had them finishing 500 this year. I have them 4-4.
That's fair.
Only because these are actually also one of the other teams that are keeping things to themselves.
Hmm.
They don't know a lot. Because, yeah. I think it's because Eagles, Kildare, and like Cork don't have a guy on their team in the group chat. That's why we just
Yeah.
don't know anything.
Yeah.
I think
a
as
rep,
well, Kildare
Casual rep.
were humbled a few times last season. Specifically by UL and the Mavericks, but they were fucking humbled. A certain outspoken quarterback, who shall remain nameless, made some very large statements, very large sweeping statements. So he did, and he was humbled. So I think they've gone off the idea of shouting from the mountaintops.
Which is fair.
Yeah, I have them going 5-3 because they're a team that reminds me that they can give more, and if I think they have the ability to go 5-3, it's whether they do it or not. Because I think even against us when we played them in the Jets, like there was just little bits of complacency. Like I think they were up like 30 points or something at one stage, but I think they give up nearly 3 interceptions in the second half, which was a bit strange. And I don't know if they were just like, we're just going to chuck it and see where it goes kind of attitude. And I think maybe that's where they kind of fall down on. They have plenty of talent. It's whether they can just get the job done. But yeah, 5-3, I think is fair.
I thought they were supposed to be playing the Jets this season.
No, I don't think.
But what? Hang on. I thought the way this was supposed to be was you had 8 games, but you didn't play like the furthest team away from you in the season.
No.
It's
That's
slightly
only for the
different.
bottom 2. The bottom 2 don't play the top 2, and then it's
Then it's Thunderdome.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
So 7 doesn't play 5, and wait.
No, I think
It's just interesting that you
No,
have
'cause
Giants and Pirates in
they're-
there,
I
no
think-
Jets.
I think they're 3rd in the rankings, and the Jets are 8th in the rankings. So that's why they don't face each other.
Well, the rankings changed because I'm looking at Owen's post, and he has the Jets at 7.
The Jets at 7.
Yeah,
And then,
and the
sorry,
Giants.
then the Eagles are 8.
Oh, sorry. No, Jets are at 8. I just can't count. Jets are at 8.
Jets
That does
are
make
at 8.
sense. That does make
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
All right.
It's
then.
just
Well,
interesting that they're facing yourselves and the Giants when technically you are lower seeded than the Jets.
yeah. That's just I think Well,
Iron
we
sharpens iron.
we have to face them because we don't have to face the Cowboys and the Mavericks.
Yes. Now I'm
Yeah.
with you. Right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why. So the Giants and the Pirates will not be playing the Cowboys or the Mavericks at any stage this year, unless obviously make the playoffs and whatever. But let me actually ask you this. Thought just came to my head. Tommy, that used to play for the Crusaders, went over and was playing for the Munich Ravens in Elf. Doesn't technically have a club at the moment.
No.
If he doesn't go back over to Elf, does he play at the Crusaders?
I'll fucking personally drive him up to Darramore.
I drive him to Donamead.
Yeah.
Just by the people at his house. Why are you all driving me places on a Wednesday?
Get up there, you fucking taper me. No. Listen, from where he finished in the standings, well, he was second in yardage for the season, wasn't he? No way he's not getting a contract.
First in touchdowns, and second in yardage.
Yeah, that's the kind of guy you cut from the team. Yeah, no.
Was this in the ELF? That was his stat?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know. If I'm just throwing out there, I'm just throwing against the wall, seeing what's sticking. But
if one of the best players in the ELF doesn't get their contract renewed,
well, look, if you still want to play
for the Crusaders,
if you still want to play football, we had him on the show. We had a chat there before Christmas, and he didn't know. Now, obviously, things can change. Like we said, we're only in January. A lot can change between now and March. But if there's no sign of it, why not play the end of the year with the Crusaders until you hear something? And if he does, that 4-4 record is changing quick.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I cannot see him not getting a contract extension or a new contract or even then an offer from another team. I can't see it.
Yeah. No, I think so too. Well, it would be interesting to see if it does. Right, let's move off the Crusaders and move on to. Let me see who we've got next on my list. Dublin Rhinos. Let's have a chat about the Rhinos. Made the playoffs last year. Lost in the semi-final. They made the playoffs despite losing. What's their quarterback's name? Ethan? Is it Ethan Foster? Is that his name?
Oh yeah, he lost his shoulder and something.
Yeah. Known for having the best home ground in the country, widely regarded. Up there in Castleknock College. Starting off with the Jets away, 2 home games against Crusaders and Cowboys, Giants away, Pirates away in a Dublin derby, Razorbacks, Eagles at home, and then finishing away to the Mavericks. What is their finishing record?
5-3.
6-2.
5-3 as well. Yeah.
I went 6-2 for them.
Okay. Who are the Mavs and Cowboys to the beat?
Who are gonna what?
Who are they? Oh, sorry, who did they lose to?
Who did I have them losing to? I had them losing to.
I have them losing to Cowboys,
Mavs,
and Crusaders.
I think I had them losing to Cowboys as well. I think the Mavs too, and I don't know if it was the Razorback or the Eagles. One of those. I had one of those games down as a loss. Can't remember. But yeah, those, and then the rest that they win. I think it'll be tough to go up to Lyon Park and win, especially for a team that hasn't been up there before. It's going to be tough. But I think 5-3. As long as if Eaton's back and as long as he stays fit, 5-3. Like that. I did not get to watch a single Rhinos game last year, so I'm not too sure.
They are hard hitting. They're a lot of say. I don't want to use the term lower or lesser team, but some of the more inexperienced teams will struggle with that defense. So they will.
The big thing with them last year was they were down a quarterback for the majority of the season, and their biggest defeat was 11 points. But like it was 3-14 against the Vikings. That was their biggest defeat. how they lost 5 games last year is beyond me because they were by a single score. They could so easily run the board this league this year.
Mm-hmm.
I went 6-2 to be sort of more conservative, but if they're at full strength, every team in the league should fear them, or every team in the schedule should really be cautious with them because of how good their defense is, and their weekend offense almost got them through to the but how they finished 3-5 last year is beyond me. Like, it was just a freak thing.
Yeah.
To be honest.
All right then. So another good season for the Rhinos. Let's go back up north on this one, and let's have a little chat about the Razorbacks. Razorbacks had a pretty good first year in Division 1 last year. There were some tough defeats, but there was also some really good wins. A really good learning experience for the team. They did lose, like you mentioned, the Kuzmeriks, and I think they've lost their tight end Stu as well. Hasn't he gone over to Germany?
Oh yes, he went over to Germany. He plays for the Razorbacks in Germany. Mm-hmm. I think he's waiting on a contract extension.
Okay,
it's all a bit up in the air.
Okay, so you're telling me there's a chance. There's a chance this year for.
Yeah, I'm not sure he'll be playing. If he isn't playing for the Razorbacks in Germany, I'm not sure he'll be playing for the Razorbacks over here.
Okay,
that's all I'd say on that.
Starting off 2 home games against the Jets and the Crusaders, followed by 2 away games to the Vipers. Nothing more than you said about that. Away to the Pirates, home to the Giants, away to the Rhinos, home to the Mavericks, and away to the Cowboys. Lads, what's the record?
6-2 or 5-3. There's a coin flip in there.
Yeah, Dave, I agree with you there. 500 this year, 4-4.
It's one of those things with the Razorbacks. They are doing something. From what they were 2 years ago, it's a completely different beast to what they are now. And there's certain players that I come up against when I was playing them last year that have improved an insane amount. So the coaching is quite good over there as well. I don't know. They could completely prove me wrong and run the table, but I just think they're not quite at that level. Plus, they lost those key players. I just think they improved their record by 1. So 4-4, I think, is a decent record for them, an improvement.
I'm led to believe that the Razorbacks haven't reached off season yet. I think they just motored straight through. They haven't taken a break at all.
I was going to say.
And seeing what they were able to achieve last season, going up from Division 2 and Division 1. And you know what? They were competitive. Just and no more missed playoffs. And I believe that intensity has been kept up through the last off season and preseason. I don't think anyone has played as much football as the Razorbacks have played on their training pitch. I think that's just what you do. That's just what they do. So if they get the same, say, percentage improvement from last year to this year than the year before, they will be a force to be reckoned with. Maybe not quite make it all the way to the bowl, but you could have a situation where they'll definitely win the Shield or they'll go into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, like that, they were 1 game away from making it to the playoffs last year, so it was very close. They were there right till the very end. So, with Santana, with another year head coaching under his belt, take what he learned last year and use it. I think 4. I do have him 4-4, but look, it's not terrible 4-4. It's a tough schedule. That's all. There is the potential for some very good teams in Division 1 this year, if what we're hearing is actually going to materialize. Let's stay up north for the next team, and let's have a chat about everybody's favorite red and yellow team, and that's the Vipers. Starting off at home to the Cowboys, away to the Giants, home to the Razorbacks, who we just talked about. Jets away, Mavericks away, Eagles at home, Pirates at home, and finishing up with the Crusaders away. This is I have them down as having a very tough year this year. I settled on 2-6. It could vary to 3-5. It could go as low as 1-7. Again,
I agree.
I don't know a lot about them, but what are you guys thinking about the Vipers this year?
I have them down as 3-5. I actually think last year was really underperforming. I was kind of surprised with other results. I think the Razorbacks really beat them bad. It was like 24-0 or something. And I think they just maybe had some issues. Not entirely sure what it was, but I played them a few years ago and they were a really, really good outfit. So they've got a new facility this year, don't they? They're not using the same pitch.
No, they're on the old pitch. I don't think it's ready yet.
Was it not ready yet? Okay.
No.
Well, they have that to look forward to at least. So that breeds some sort of new air in and around it. They produce good players. Do you know what I mean? Like you'll see, there's a few Vipers down at the Trojans, and they're fantastic players.
They can produce some good players, just can't keep them.
No, that's not what I mean. Like there is, and their defense is aggressive. Do you know what I mean? They're out to get at your QB. I'm trying to stop myself from using certain words that might go towards a different thing, but they have a good
what
aggressive. Professional, amateur.
Is it the rebranded Greenzone, the one that's very professional?
Yeah. No, like they have aggression. They're competitive. I just think they're just missing something that they've been missing maybe for a few years. But I think they could scrape out 3 wins out of that schedule.
Yeah, there'll be 3 wins and no more. I reckon. Like they're bleeding players. So they are. They're just bleeding players.
Which is tough because they actually do have a pretty successful youth squad as well.
Yeah.
So they should be able to farm the youth products through and then install them in the squad and then go from there. But like you're saying, they just can't keep the guys there long enough to build a successful team.
But it's also
Donald's still their defensive coordinator.
Don't know, but he'd be new, so I don't know if he stayed or if he kept on. But as a club, see at any American football function in Ireland, you'll see five or six of them at everything with their Vipers gear. As horrible as some of it is, you'll see them wearing it and you'll spot them a mile away. But they're a great club. They're so supportive of the sport, so you have to give them some props.
Yeah, they're dedicated. They're definitely dedicated.
Yeah. Although the gear, leaves a lot to be desired. Their social media game this week has been top notch. I think they've had the best schedule announcement posts. The way they've designed them, I think they've been one of the best this year.
I think brand color and wise, it is astonishing. Yeah. And they were the McWhoopin. They did produce McWhoopin last year, which was the single best social media post of 2023.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on then to. I'll leave the 3 promoted teams to last, so that means we are going to move on to the Antrim Jets. If anyone is around the league, they would have known the story around the Jets this past year. We won't go into detail on it. You know about it.
Do they? I think they do count as promoted teams.
The Jets aren't the promoted team. They played last year.
The Jets were relegated last year.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. It doesn't
technically, no, they just finished last.
They're not promoted, though.
Yeah. They finished last, but they weren't actually relegated because they didn't play a game in Division 2. But yeah, Razorbacks away, Rhinos home, Mavericks away, 2 home games against the Giants and Vipers, 2 away games against the Eagles and Pirates, and then finishing up at home to the Cowboys on the 30th of June. I don't like saying this because it was a very tough year last year. You guys were there. You know all about it. I've been through like losing seasons with the Pirates 2 years in a row now. But I can't see anything but an 0-8 season this year. I'm open to be proven wrong. I'd love to be proven wrong, but I don't know about you two. Like, I can't see anything other than 0-8.
I would have agreed with you up until a few days ago when Jerry McCabe came back to the team.
Right.
And I think it'll be 1-7.
Okay. If you put that Pirates down as that one, I'm going to kill you.
It's not, actually.
Oh. Giants?
I'm looking at the Giants movie.
Giants?
No, it is Pirates. Sorry. See, if you had like, oh, I wonder who it is. No, yeah, you could have just took it, and everyone could have been happy.
It's one of those things where, yes, me and Chris played for them last year, but it's a completely different thing to what even we saw last year. The coaches have been shuffled. There's coaches have left, coaches have joined. I think a good few players have joined. It's a completely different setup to what we saw last year. So it really could be anything.
I've heard they're heavy on the line. They have a lot of new linemen in.
Yeah, so like it's so easy to say that, you know, I think they'll finish 0-8 because that's what we know. If they come back this year with the same as what they had last year, they'll be 0-8, no question. There's not a team there that they'll beat. But if they've got, like Chris says, Jerry is a motivator. Jerry can get things out of players. So you don't know that they could scrape a win there. I have put them down as 0-8, just purely because I don't really know. I can only base it off last year, and I don't know what they've added to know how good it's actually going to be. But
Dave,
I'm not hoping for it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I hope they do enjoy themselves. I hope they're competitive, and I hope they finish the season. I think that's the big thing. No one wants to see a team fall out of it, you know, before the end or give up before the end. I hope they finish the season, and I hope they're competitive, and I do hope they get a couple of wins. But I just based off last year, 0-8 for now.
I don't think they're going to be competitive. Like, I just don't. There was too many core components left the team going in the last season. And more, again, like some long-serving players, ourselves excluded, have since moved on. Rookies as well. You've got a whole hunch of brand new coaches. No coaches that were there last year, there this year. Well, technically Neil is offensive coordinator, but he was offensive assistant for like maybe 1 or 2 games, but left for the rest of the season. They're in a rebuild. You know, they're not going to be competitive. Last year we were out-coached. We were outplayed on D, outplayed on O, but there was no light at the end of the tunnel. At least here, yes, they're not going to be overly competitive, but I think there is a light. I think there is something to work towards. I think under Jerry, they can suffer together to build something a lot stronger. But as you say, I think the Jets' main focus is to reach July, and then focus on next season.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And like
they're back training tomorrow. They're going to be pissed that we said this.
Got it. Send it to us.
What was said there in the Water Boy when he tries to say it to Adam Sandler? Tackling fuel. Use it as tackling fuel. Tackling fuel. Just use it. Use it, lads. And I don't know why I'm saying that because I have to face them this year. You don't have to. You can say whatever you want. So
here's the thing: my brother's still playing for them. I'd be down at every game of Canby. I'd be down there against the Razorbacks, and I'd be cheering them on. But
it's so difficult. It's so difficult not to like. I'm sure there's people in the Jets that are thinking, "No, we can get 3 wins, no problem." Maybe some of them can think they can get more. It's just, you know, if you can be competitive, because we weren't competitive last year.
No.
If they can be competitive, take that as a positive. this year because everything is brand new and you're playing against some top teams as well. So
get the fundamentals and work your way from there.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
All right, that is the gist. Let's talk about then the 3 promoted sides from Division 2. We'll start with the Division 2 champions. That is the Wexford Eagles.
They got a
this is my sleeper team in the whole league. Like I said, I had 3 teams to finish 6-2. I already said the Mavs and the Cowboys. I think the Eagles can go 6-2. This team is so well coached. They have the numbers. They have the offense. They have the defense. I think that they can go 6-2 this year. And yeah, I think they're going to shock a lot of people in Division 1 this coming season. But what do you guys think?
I agree, 100%. Klatt is an insane coach. I believe there's been some exoduses from across the league towards Wexford. So there has from other teams, same as there was when he moved there back from the Panthers. So, yeah, the Eagles don't fuck about. They dropped some merch this week as well. I'm just going to advertise merch. This is what I do now.
20 quid?
Yeah, 20 quid for a really, really cool jacket.
Yeah, I need stopped from these like teams releasing gear.
Second best running back in Ireland, Sean McVeigh says Klatt is him.
Yeah, actually, can we get that back up there? Sean, you're gonna have to change that that picture there, pal. You're playing some foreign sport there that I don't understand.
Almost looks like a Glen kit.
But yeah, I think that having to play them last year, especially, and what they can do to you on offense, and the different disguise blitzes that they have on defense as well is fucking terrifying. So I think and the schedule is not too bad either. They have who are they playing home and away against this year? Who have they got home and away? They've got the.
Nobody know
they've not got anyone home and away. No, they shouldn't
see anyone twice there.
Yeah. Okay. Normally you play one team home and away, I thought. Oh no, sorry. That's only for the Pirates and the Giants and the Mavs and the Cowboys. Those 2 teams are playing each other. 4 teams playing each other home and away. The rest of them only play each other once, either home or away. Sorry, but yeah, I think the schedule helps is very helpful. As well, they don't have to play against. Now I've lost who they don't have to play against. The Razorbacks, is it? They're not playing the Razorbacks.
Yeah, they play the Razorbacks.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a good year for Wexford. And look, will they get into the Premier Division next year? We'll find at the end of this show. But if we anything else before we move on about Wexford?
I'm saying they go 4-4 because they are just back. They did really well in Division 2, but there's some teams that have been around for a wee while, and Wexford are still finding their feet. I think they maybe just drop a couple games, and they might still make the playoffs. I'm not sure if I've done the math right, whether they do make the playoffs or not.
But remember, the Eagles were a D2 team out of technicality. It was bylaw infraction that they ended up down there. Much like the Mavs ended up down in D2. Had no business being there.
Yeah.
Still didn't win, but...
Yeah, well, they still did lose that final.
No.
I think, the Maverick way.
It's the same. The Eagles, with how good their coaching is, if they have decent personnel on the squad, they could go far. But I think middle of the pack, get yourself back into D1 and then maybe get up next year.
I've just thought of the Mavericks tagline. We wear gold because we win silver.
We are so far past the Mavericks. We are talking about Wexford.
It just came into my head.
One plus now for the Eagles. They're not wearing that old terrible yellow jerseys anymore. they brought out 2 new like sick jerseys, the white and the black you see on screen there last
Those kids
season.
are beautiful.
Yeah.
They are so nice. So they finish high in your rankings today for their kids?
I don't think they did.
No.
I think I was a big advocate for them, but they kind of fell. But they fell quite early. I think they got to the playoffs.
Did you still have them as the yellow though?
No, it was.
No, you had the white and the black.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking at it here now.
You have the standings handling.
No, I've the
Just the stories.
the tier ranking thing.
Oh right, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
They're not even on here. Did we forget about the Eagles?
They are.
No, they are. They were S tier.
That's the top.
Yeah, they were the first in S tier.
Fair enough. Okay, so you just knew then. Okay, that's all right. The penultimate. That words are hard sometimes. Team tonight, Causeway Giants. They obviously were the losing finalists in the D2 Bowl last year. They are coming up this year, another year under coach Conan Jal.
Is
I
it?
think.
I thought he was gone.
No, he's still there as far as I'm aware.
I could be wrong.
If you just say it like this, then you might keep going for long.
Because you're so professional with your knowledge. Are you sure?
Let me just double check my source.
Are you just doing a under Greenzone podcast center exclusive?
I'm making the news, all right?
Causeway Giants are watching this like, don't you dare. Don't you dare.
According to Jason, he's still there.
Still there.
Why are we on this? Jason needs to go on this as our like VAR of information.
Actually, no, I'm wrong.
I heard something. So Chris, somebody from the Giants was going.
You're the Rappaport, and Jason is our Schefter.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, listen, a pretty nice start for the Giants in Division 1. Vipers at home, Pirates away, Jets away. Then it gets a little more difficult with the Rhinos at home, the Razorbacks away, the Pirates then at home, Crusaders at home, and finishing up away to the Eagles. Lads, what's their record?
I went for 2-6, but looking at the record, maybe I should have went 3-5. Or looking at their schedule, sorry. Because they don't play the Mavericks or the Cowboys, which makes sense because they're in the bottom 2 seedings. So yeah. I went 2-6, but I think I'll change it to 3-5. I thought the Giants performed, we were all at the Bowl 2 game against Wexford, and I thought the Giants really held their own quite well against a really, really good Eagles team. So I can see them getting three games.
Yeah,
in that mix, possibly. You know what? I'll stick with 2. I'll stick with 2-6. I'll stick with 2, but they could get 3.
Fair enough. I actually have them 4-4.
Oh, who's the 4? That they win.
They win. Vipers. I have them down as one of the Pirates games. The Jets. And then I think they spring a surprise against either the Rhinos at home or the Crusaders at home.
I would disagree.
I would disagree. Yeah.
The
Rhinos are see that.
Oh, the Rhinos are gonna fuck them like
that. Vipers, Pirates, Jets, and then the Rhinos. Geez, that's gonna hit them hard. I think.
I think the Rhinos had such a bad time in SBC that a lot of people have this kind of impression of them that they're not as strong as they are. They're a good team.
Yeah,
it's very hard hitting team.
That'll
be massive when they beat the Jets this season. That'll be massive. Like they've never never beat them. I'm right in saying.
For real?
I think they did beat them. I think they
You
beat
sure?
them the first year. Maybe not in league form.
I
But
mean
they-
in an actual proper fair dinkum match.
I think in the tournament after COVID, they might have got us. But I'm not entirely sure. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think from what we're told, they already have 30 players registered. And we're still only in January, so there's still time for more to come down. So they have the numbers.
They have the money.
Have the money.
They can't escape it.
they have the connections to the UK.
Oh yeah, they've got the direct line to those Bafa coaches. I'm playing.
It was all so nice.
It was.
It's all just in good fun. It's all in good fun. But yeah, I have them 4-4. I think they were upset that they weren't one of the teams that were brought up to Division 1 last year. They felt that they were ready for Division 1 last year. So I think now that they're going up there, I think they will.
Was because no.
What?
Oh no!
I said I wouldn't do this shit this season, but technically it's last season, so I will. The Giants were offered, but the players weren't asked. The coaches made the decision. I've been led to believe.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I was told that from somebody on the Giants squad, by the way. No, I didn't just make that one up.
If you want to say, if you want to put it that way, then you could say, yeah, okay, new coach in 3. Why make things even more difficult when they're trying to learn a new system? Go down and stay.
Oh, the Win had massive trouble in D1.
Yeah. I think it'll be a positive thing that they stayed in D2 last year.
Yeah.
Definitely. So
remember they didn't score a point against the Jets last season, or not last season, the season before. And you saw what happened to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair, different. But look, listen, that's at different points though. A lot has changed, and a lot has changed even between when you guys won the division and last year in terms of for both teams. So, look, I like to stay positive for them and see. But look, listen, let's move on to the last team, and the favorite team of this podcast for sure. That's the Pirates. North Dublin Pirates, because we can't play in Division 2 by ourselves. We're playing in Division 1 this year. And I don't know if Aiden is still pissed off with me because I associate with yous. Yeah, start to the season.
Eden loves us. That's a dirty lie.
Away to the Crusaders and away to start the season. Followed by 3 home games against the Knights, the Razorback, and the Rhinos, away to the Giants, at home to the Jets, and finishing up in Edenderry against the Vipers. I have us down going 2-6 this year. I think we take the Jets game and we take one of the Giants games, and I think the rest is going to be difficult to step. It's a huge step up. And yeah, I think there's a few shocks in store for a couple of lads with the step up from D1 to from D2 to D1, that I don't think they're mentally prepared for yet. But I will leave the floor open to you guys. You can ask me whatever you want, and I'll try and answer as best I can.
Dave, do you want to go first?
Yeah, so I don't know. I think I must have looked at the schedule wrong. I originally had the Pirates going 1-7, but I think I'm changing it to 2-6 because the only couple of games I got to watch of yours last year, I think were both against the Giants. Mm-hmm. And the playoff game specifically, you might have should have won. You could have possibly won. I think you had your opportunities to score touchdowns. We talk about the infamous I don't know how long you were in with 5 yards away from the end zone. Must have been about 20 plays because of flags. Wait, did I say
against
7 and
some of
1
the
or 1 and
best
7?
BAFA players?
Did,
You know,
yeah. Did I say 1 and 7 or 7 and 1? Did I say 7 and 1?
no, he said
That
or
was
what
right.
do you?
Okay. No, I think right. I think there is. You're so close, and it is dependent on what the Jets come out with this year. Obviously, I said they're going to win 8, so technically, you will get 1 and 7. But we don't know if the Jets are going to come back with a vengeance this year and actually, improve massively. But there's a win in there, I think, for you, definitely at least. So I'm sticking with 1 and 7.
And so position, forget about playoffs, forget about shields. I think that's the big sort of hurdle that the team has to get over first, and that's getting that win.
Yeah.
I would have hoped that, and no disrespect to any of these teams, but I would have hoped that our first or our second game could have been against either the Jets or the Giants, because I feel like they're closest to us in terms of
skill,
ability, skill wise, and ability. Seeding, obviously, but because that if we could have got that win early, I'm saying if it's in the past, who knows what's going to happen. Like, but if I felt like if we can get that win early, it could be a nice springboard for the rest of the year.
Get the head
if you start with 2 losses and 2 losses that are against really, really good sides. It can be demoralizing for a team that has already gone so many games without a win. But it's just about keeping the morale in the camp as high as possible and keeping, everyone's head screwed on about that it's an 8-game season, not 2 games, the first 2 games, and then that's it. But yeah, it's about getting that win first. I think that's the main thing that we have to target this year. Like you were saying about the Jets, it's not about playoffs or anything like that. It's just for them, like you said about the Jets getting to July. For us, it's about getting that first win and just getting us in a spot to then use as a springboard.
Yeah, I think your win's coming. Like, I reckon you're going 0-2 at the start. You are. That's what's going to happen. But the absolute shock to the system that's coming to a lot of these boys when the Crusaders come to town, and you go to the Crusaders and you go to the Eagles. Yes, you've experienced them last year.
Mm-hmm.
That 2-3 week period between the 24th of March and the 14th of April is when there's going to be a lot of face slapping and like, right, let's stop fucking about here. And that's when the Giants come to town, and that's when you get your first win. I'm sorry, Ross and Nathan and all those boys, but that home game against the Giants is your springboard. So you might only get one this year. But that one will taste ever so sweet.
Yeah.
Yep.
And against a team that cheated you out of a playoff spot.
I've had as well since the start of last year. I've had a winning post in like my phone gallery just to put up on the team's Instagram of like, Kevin from The Office, when he's just talking, he goes, "It's just nice to win one."
Yeah. That is quality.
Having wearing a Pirates hat. I've been wanting to post that for so long as well. It's just like that is
a perfect post. Definitely. Yeah. I like that.
But yeah, look, listen, that is our AFI 2024 schedule release review. Lads, there's no 2 better people I would have spent the last 2 hours talking AFI with. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us. Don't forget to subscribe to Dara's channel.
Yep.
Dave, to the point.
Subscribe.
Murd.
And make sure you're subscribed to the Greenzone as well, obviously, because as we're coming into the AFI season. They are like Michael Bublé at Christmas. They are emerging
Yes.
from their cave and will be coming out with content on the regular for sure.
The big heavy set offensive linemen come out of hibernation this time of year.
Yeah, that's it. Like I said, let's appreciate it as always. If you want to let us know what you think about the schedules, you can follow us on our socials at UnderCenterPod on Instagram, Twitter, wherever. Let us know. Same with Greenzone. Was it Greenzone Ireland?
Yeah, at Greenzone Ireland on
Yeah.
Instagram. Do we have Twitter?
We kind of do, but it's been on hiatus until
listen, just get us on Instagram.
Just Instagram, yeah.
Fuck X and Twitter.
Twitter's not active enough by all teams for it to be worthwhile. No. All I'm doing is retweeting Trojan stuff because the Trojans are the ones that are so heavily using it.
We're the reshare mill.
Yeah, it's like this just looks bad then. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. All right, well, that's where we're going to end this edition of the show. Until next time, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.